In the days when Saul was king over Israel, trouble had come from their old enemies, the Philistines. These warriors, fierce and armed with iron, gathered their armies to wage war against the people of God. The Philistines marched and set up their camp on a mountain near the valley of Elah, while Saul and the men of Israel pitched their tents on a mountain opposite, their nerves taut as bowstrings as they gazed at the enemy arrayed before them. Between these two armies lay a broad valley. Each morning, as mist still clung to the ground, a figure would stride from the Philistine camp, a man so tall and broad that he seemed almost like a beast rather than a human. His name was Goliath of Gath. He was a champion, a giant who stood over 9 feet tall. His armor gleamed in the sun, bronze plates covering his chest, legs, and shoulders. Upon his head was a helmet of burnished bronze, and a javelin like a weaver's beam was slung across his back. His spear's iron point alone weighed as much as a grown child. A heavy bronze sword clanged at his side, and a shield-bearer walked before him, casting a dark shadow on the sand. Goliath strode into the valley and roared, "Why do you come out and line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine, and are you not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects, but if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us." Every morning and every evening, for 40 days, Goliath made his challenge. His voice thundered across the valley, striking fear into the hearts of Israel's warriors. Not a man among Saul's army dared to face the giant. Instead, they quaked in their armor, their hopes for victory dimming with each taunt. Now in Bethlehem, far from the battlefield, lived a man named Jesse. He was old and had 8 sons. His 3 eldest, Eliab, Abinadab, and Shammah, had joined Saul's army. Jesse's youngest son was David, a lad who tended sheep in the hills and fields. Though young, David had already shown courage, fighting off lions and bears to protect his flock. One day, Jesse called David to his side. "Take this roasted grain and these loaves of bread to your brothers," Jesse said. "Give this cheese to their commander. See how your brothers are faring, and bring back word." So David rose early in the morning, leaving his sheep with a keeper, and journeyed to the front lines. When David arrived at the camp, he found the Israelites drawing up their battle lines, shouting their war cries. The valley echoed with the familiar challenge of Goliath, whose voice seemed even fiercer that day. David hurried to the place where his brothers stood among the trembling ranks. As he greeted them, he heard the Philistines' words. He saw the fear in the eyes of Israel's soldiers as they shrank back from the giant. David asked the men near him, "What will be done for the man who kills this Philistine and removes this disgrace from Israel? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" The soldiers replied, "The king will give great wealth to the man who kills him. He will also give him his daughter in marriage and will exempt his family from taxes in Israel." When David's eldest brother, Eliab, heard him speaking, he bristled with anger. "Why have you come down here? And with whom did you leave those few sheep in the wilderness? I know your pride and wicked heart. You came down only to watch the battle." David answered, "What have I done now? Is there not a cause?" He turned away and again asked the others about the giant's challenge. News spread quickly that a bold youth was willing to face Goliath, and soon word reached Saul. The king sent for David. Standing before Saul, David declared, "Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him." Saul looked on the lad in astonishment. "You are not able to go against this Philistine and fight him," Saul said. "You are only a young man, and he has been a warrior from his youth." But David answered, "Your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came and carried off a sheep from the flock, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the sheep. When it turned on me, I seized it by its hair, struck it, and killed it. The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine." Saul, seeing the courage blazing in David's eyes, finally said, "Go, and the Lord be with you." he ordered that his own armor should be placed on David, dressing him in a bronze helmet and a heavy tunic. David strapped on Saul's sword and tried to walk, but the armor was too cumbersome. He removed it all and said, "I cannot go in these, for I am not used to them." Instead, David took up his shepherd's staff. He chose 5 smooth stones from the clear brook that ran through the valley and placed them in the pouch of his sling. With his heart steadfast, he approached the Philistine. Goliath saw him coming and laughed, his armor clanking with every step. He jeered, "Am I a dog, that you come at me with sticks?" And he cursed David by his gods. "Come here," he sneered, "and I will give your flesh to the birds and the wild animals." David answered, his voice unwavering, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands. I will strike you down and cut off your head. And the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands." With a roar, Goliath moved forward, his shield-bearer before him. David did not retreat. Instead, he ran quickly toward the battle line to meet the giant. Reaching into his bag, he took out a stone, placed it in his sling, and whirled it around his head. The stone shot forth, whistling through the air, and struck Goliath squarely in the forehead. The giant's mighty legs buckled. He swayed, then crashed face down upon the earth.